What up, infidels? Been a couple days. Just you know me. You know me. Just you know me. At this point, you know me. This comes when it comes. As I'm trying to figure out everything here in Austin. Things are going. Things are going. Things are going well. Things are going well. Things are going well. So, I was gonna say can't complain. I can find some stuff to complain about. When people go can't complain, I think they're always like, well, I can complain, but I would seem like an ass if I was complaining about it to you. That's what people say when they say, like, I can't complain. I think that's what they really mean. Or is that just a me thing? Am I just projecting me on everybody? Can people actually, when they say, oh, I can't complain, do they actually mean that? Is that like a deep insight into my psyche? Where it's like, oh, Hassan, what's going on there? You always want to complain? Be happy with your life. But, hey, we're not here to psychoanalyze me, are we? We're here to talk about, look, I was like, I got to finish Joseph. That's why it took me a while to do it. It's like, oh, I got to do Joseph. I got to finish Joseph. Joseph chapters 13 through 24. This is going to go real quick. This is going to be a real quick episode, so it's like we might as well talk about some other things as well. Still working on the Steve Harvey thing. That's coming on slowly but surely. I'm going to film more of it when I get home tonight. I told myself that. I'm going to film more of it when I get home tonight, hopefully. Or at least if not tonight, tomorrow afternoon, I'll definitely film more of it. It's like it's coming. It's coming. Trust me, it's coming. It's a breakdown. I just have to figure out how to do it. It's my first time. Really like trying to do like any sort of actual sort of YouTube content, like content for YouTube. And my skills aren't that great, but like this is a podcast for you infidels, the small but mighty. This is I meant this. I started this as a podcast, and now I care about my look on YouTube a little more. But this is the first thing. The Steve Harvey thing is the first thing I'm doing just to do YouTube stuff. So trying to just expand. It's all about expanding the tools of your if the tools you have aren't getting you where you want to be, you got to expand those tools a little bit, right? So I got I need to learn how to edit basically. Basically edit, beyond what I do for this podcast, which is almost nothing. I just line the audio and the video up and I send it out there. But this is what actually required me to do let me learn how to do a transition and whatnot and stuff like that. So, it's a process. Everything's a process, bro. And what's crazy is that everything is a process, and then even after the end of that process, it sometimes doesn't work. You know what I mean? Sometimes the process is just the 76ers or whatever, where it's like, damn, we spent all those years building it, and it didn't work out how you wanted it to. I think that's why you gotta think it's the journey. You gotta think it's the journey, not the destination. Because the destination might not be where you thought you were going, right? Wild, dude. Life is wild, bro, and pretty boring at the same time, huh? Life is wild in a way where it's also monotonous on a day-to-day basis. That's sometimes, and not for everybody. But it can get that way when you find yourself in a groove. Then you're like, damn, every day feels the same. Quarantine felt that way for sure. Where it was just yo, every day is the same. Good God. Michael Jordan, clutch, dropping that documentary. It was clutch. It was at least for 7, 8 Sundays in a row, or how many Sundays it was we had something to look forward to. Other than that, Jesus, quarantine was. Whew. Quarantine, baby. Look, this is why 13 through 14 isn't going to be that long. Because, let's just get into it real quick, and then we'll talk about other things. This is, usually I was I'll just do the Bible stuff alone. But it's it might not, there might not just be enough Bible stuff for a long episode. And maybe that's okay. Maybe the Bible isn't as interesting as I thought in every place. It really is. And the back half of Joshua is just, Joshua's old now, and there's still a bunch of lands to be passed out in Joshua 13. They list the land, and they divide the land among the 9 tribes across the Jordan. And the list of all, and then it's just chapter 13 is a list of all the lands given as inheritance. And then Joshua 14 is just more lands in the west. Joshua 15, there's more land. It's just list after list after list. Joshua 16, guess what? More land. Joshua 17, more land stuff. Yeah. And that's it. I mean, that's it. Joshua 18, more inheritance of land. Joshua 19, just more inheritance of land. Joshua 20, set up, remember the cities of refugee where you could go if you accidentally killed someone? They set those up. And when you get in, you have to plead your case to an elder. If the elder believes you accidentally killed someone, then you get in. That's Joshua 20. Joshua 21, now the land's given to the Levites and Judah and Simeon. But at the end of 21, the Lord said he has given Israel the land he has sworn to them, and he has fulfilled every promise he has ever promised them. So Joshua, we finally get a fulfillment of the pact, I guess, that what's it called? The bond, or I forgot the word, that the Lord made with Abraham. That happens in Joshua 21. Finally, all the land is divided. Joshua 22, the three tribes who wanted to stay before they crossed the Jordan, which when I started this, I thought Jordan was a place and not a river, but it seems to be a river. Those the three tribes that sent men get to go back to their original tribes because the fighting is done. They go back with wealth. The Reubenites build an altar on their way back, and the Israelites get mad, thinking that they built an altar to another god. But the Reubenites are like, no, this is an altar for our God, and it connects the people across Jordans. It's like a memento for the people who crossed the Jordan and the people who didn't cross the Jordan. It's like, hey, we're still part of the same tribe. So the Reubenites do that, and and Joshua 23, the Lord gives Israel a rest from his enemies. Joshua says goodbye to the elders. He's getting old, and he tells the elders to obey God. Joshua 24, God reminds everyone there's no other gods. Joshua dies. And also the son of Aaron, Eliezer, or whatever his name, dies. And that's Joshua. That's the end of Joshua. We got through Joshua. All right. Next book I do, I'm just going to do the whole goddamn book, dude. I'm just going to do the whole book. This piece by piece is so long. It's so long. I don't know why I thought that was going to be a good idea. Why would I think that was a good idea? You know what I mean? Like, for real, do you know what I mean? Like, what? Like, honestly, why would I think that was a good idea? It's just so long, and it's not. You know what it is? I thought it would just be a little more interesting than it is, and it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool, dude. You know what I mean? It's cool, bro. Shit's cool. But it's not interesting. It can be cool and not interesting. The Spurs. It's a good example. That's good. If you told me you were a San Antonio Spur, I'd be like, damn, that's hella cool. But they're not interesting. They're not like, they're not flashy. They're not the Warriors, not the Lakers, they're not the, you know what I mean? They're not the Showtime. They're not the Showtime Spurs, you know? But yeah. Oh, shit. Playing with this too much. But, I mean, I guess I could just talk about the week. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. It's like, what am I going to bring up? Alec Baldwin? I'm trying to think of you know what's crazy? I've been trying to think of a good take on Baldwin for like a stage joke. Haven't come up with one yet. I went the classic. The first place my mind went was Trump should play Baldwin on a sketch on SNL. But SNL isn't that funny. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think SNL's on the level of funny where they would do that. SNL still has an agenda to push. SNL has an agenda to push. But I can't think of one. Also, it's weird that Trump hasn't had a statement about this already. It makes me think that Trump's getting old. He is old. He's an old man. So is Joe. Well, Joe doesn't need to have a statement on it. It's just interesting. Trump doesn't need to have a statement on it either, but it's just something that Trump would absolutely make a statement on. So I'm like, where is it? Makes me feel like, oh damn, is he old? Is he like just too old to like you don't even know like what's going on? Or is he like waiting for the knock? Is he like timing wise? But the thing about Trump's timing is like what made Trump like a great roaster is that his timing was like immediate, dude. Like remember when they got mad at him for the water, and the next rally he had drank the water and then like showed off and then like threw. Did he throw the cup? He should have. If he didn't in his mind, he threw the cup. It was hilarious. But that was pretty immediate. Like Trump's timing is very good, which makes me think like, damn, the longer he waits on this Alec Baldwin stuff, what's good? But he is an entertainer. Maybe he sees something that I don't see here. He's like a world-class entertainer. So maybe he's seeing something that I don't see here. But yeah. Yeah, that's what's about. But what's the angle? What's the angle on Baldwin? Let's see. 30 Rock. Let's see if we can workshop this together. What's an angle on Baldwin that you haven't seen anyone take here? That I haven't seen anyone take. There's a cool coffee is for closers thing my mind jumped to. Because I was like, what do I think of when I think Alec Baldwin? I think Trump impersonation, 30 Rock, and oh my God, I just had it in my mind. I just said it out loud and I immediately forgot what I was talking about. Coffee is for closers. Right, those three. Those are the three things that come to my head for Trump, like almost immediately. So, but like, did I say for Trump, for Baldwin? Jesus, somebody, Smokey the Wacky Tobacco. So what exactly? Coffee's for closers, Trump impression, 30 Rock. I don't know. There's no big 30 Rock reference that I think most people would get. I think 30 Rock was for the people who liked it. It's not a class. It's like a great show. It's really funny. I think it's really funny. It's not a classic show in a way. It's not really endured past its time. It's not like The Office or Parks and Rec or anything. I would say it's the level below that, if I were to be honest about 30 Rock. But okay. So there's no 30 Rock reference that I could reference that would be funny there, even though he has some great moments in that. If you haven't seen the YouTube clip of Alec Baldwin on 30 Rock where he's playing, where him and Tracy Morgan are in a therapy session, I would look that up. It's got to be like, you know, it's use any of the keywords I just said in that last sentence and you think you can find it. You'd have to rewind. I think it's like 30 Rock, Alec Baldwin, Tracy Morgan, therapy, dogfighting. It was a dogfighting episode. Tracy kept on dogfighting, but he was bad at dogfighting. You know, it would just put two puppies in a ring and they would just sit there and he'd be like, "Oh, come on, fight." Anyways, it was a great episode of 30 Rock. Regardless, the so that either way, there's no reference that, so 30 Rock is the joke. Coffee's for closers. I do think more people would recognize that as Alec Baldwin. You know, I think more people would recognize that as Alec Baldwin. It's still not like a widespread. It's not a widespread reference at all. So, man, I wish I had a pen so I could write this down. I'm gonna grab a pen just in case. This might help me work out through this. All right, hold on. You guys, I'm working out this thing. Let's see if we can find something. There's got to be something. Hold on. Okay, I got a pen just in case. I might not even write it down. I just need to have it in my hand. Okay. What? So coffee's for closers, and you know, because the joke there in my head would be something about him seeing the direction, the cinematographer, and having coffee, and him being like, "Coffee's for closers." It's not a good joke, but that is at least the joke wheels are turning here. I don't. And then of course, the Trump impression, but I just don't want to do a joke about Trump, and so many Trump jokes are just so like overplayed and like I thought of something good, but that's exactly what people are gonna go. People are gonna go Alec Baldwin to Trump, right? Like, there's no way if I went on Twitter and as soon as I thought like, oh, Trump should play Alec on a sketch, I went on Twitter and everyone had that thought. So Alec Baldwin to Trump, that's where everyone's going, right? They're going from Alec to Trump. So what I want to do, so that's A to B, right? A good joke, I feel like, goes A to, as far down the line as the alphabet you can go. A to C can be a good joke. A to B is an okay joke. A to C is a good joke. A to D is a good joke. And the further you go down, the more brilliant the joke sort of is. The more you can bring them to point A down the alphabet. If you can bring them to A to Z, that's like probably the most complete joke, right? But it's got to be a C that everyone recognizes. Whatever that A to C is, or whatever, that's where you want to go. A to C, not A to B. Whatever that C is, it's got to be something that everyone recognizes too. That's why 30 Rock, well, nobody's thinking 30 Rock really. Also, so it would be a good C in sort of Baldwin to 30 Rock, but not everyone would know a reference to 30 Rock, so it's not the best C, if that makes any sense. Fuck. Where do you go? Where do you go? From Alec Baldwin. He kills the cinematographer on the movie Rust. Maybe you make it about maybe the take is about the movie Rust. I don't know. Alec Baldwin. I guess what was the movie? Okay. So, for sure, this has been pointed out to me. It'll be curious to see like what I gotta look at what the movie's about. Apparently, let's see what the movie Rust is about. Okay. The movie Rust is an upcoming film. Is it upcoming? Is it? Let's see. The premise is a night in 1880s Kansas, Harlan Rust, an outlaw from the Old West, who rescues his 13-year-old grandson Lucas after he's sentenced to hang for an accidental murder. Now fugitives, the pair have to outrun U.S. Marshal Woodhelm and bounty hunter Fenton Preacher Lang. Okay, so it's 1880s. Rust. Budget's only $7 million. Cinematographer Hayla Hutchins. I wonder if she had a Wikipedia page before she died. It feels like she did. Yeah, she definitely did. Crazy. From the Ukraine, born in the Soviet Union. So, we got one. Maybe there's a take there. She's from the Soviet Union. Okay, so for the 1800s, 7 million. So like, it's not even like El Dorado Pictures. So it's not like it's like a big budget film where there's gonna be a bunch of people, like bunch of millionaires. Like, we put a lot of money into this, so you got to make it happen. So that so this might not come out at all. Damn. Made by El Dorado. Made by Alec Baldwin's production company. Damn. Let's see. Joel Souza, the director from Fremont. Let's see. Rush shooting accident. Let's see filmography. Let's see what he's done. Nothing that I know. Okay. Well. No take. I can't think of any take. I would have to know more about it. If That's the reason why I don't think I can come up with like a fresh take on it, like a good take on it, or a good line for a stand-up bit in it. It's because I don't know enough about the situation. You know that I like writing current event jokes because I'll put, if you see on my TikTok and my Instagram, I'll put out jokes mostly about current events. Like I just put out a joke about Britney. I think I talked about it on here too because I do try out jokes on here. But damn, I don't think I know enough about the situation, or I can think of anything that immediately comes to my head as super funny. Maybe I just need more time. It's just weird. No one really knows what's going on. Everything's still hush hush. How does it even happen? I didn't even know they used real guns on movie sets. It would say it, right? Like it would. What? What you're telling me that you can make Spider-Man come back to life, but you can't CGI a bullet exiting a gun? It must not look as good. It must not look as good as like sound as good as much as like a blank does in a real gun. But man, oh man, does that seem like something you can fake, huh? But, sometimes you want the real thing. Good Lord, dude. Good Lord. Maybe that's the take. Why is there a real gun on set? You know what I mean? It's like Alec Baldwin's not a real outlaw from the 1800s. So why would they have a real gun? Yo, Leonardo DiCaprio wasn't really on a boat in the middle of the Atlantic. They didn't actually have to drown the dude. Right? I guess, what do I know? I'm not in the film industry. I don't know anything about it. So, of course, what would I know about it? But, we do. You know what? Sometimes, guys, you sit down and you're like, can I come up with a take on Alec Baldwin in 20 minutes? And you can't do it. At the end of the day, this was about Joseph, the book of Joseph, and finishing the book of Joseph. So, I'll see you guys soon. Hopefully something else big happens. I guess I could talk about John Gruden. We'll do that next time. We'll talk about John Gruden later. There's so many takes. Again, it's hard. There's so many good takes out there. Or until something interests me. And I'll keep working on the Steve Harvey thing, you guys. You'll see it. I promise. But, peace, guys. Later. See you, infidels. Peace in the Middle East.